According to a survey by the British Beekeepers Association, almost a third of Britain's honeybees have died in the last year. The Nebula Science Monitor spoke to Val Francis of the BBKA about the threats facing Britain's bees.
We're, I think, at a stage of concern, of deep concern, because of the losses of hives over winter that a lot of experienced beekeepers have experienced. And that is worrying, because it's not something that has happened certainly in the last 20 years. What we're facing now are diseases that are threatening across the Western world.
Honeybees all over the world have been suffering in recent years. In the United States, bee farmers have had to cope with losses of up to 40%. They use the term colony collapse disorder to describe the rapid destruction of hives, and research has so far failed to find the cause. Disease, poor weather and pesticides have all contributed to the decline of bee populations.
Can the threat be attributed to anything in particular, be it global warming or mites or anything?
I think probably the difficulty is that it cannot be attributed to one thing. One of the most likely lines of research is regarding Varroa, the resistance to Varroa to treatment, and that allowing viruses into the hive and the development of new viruses, different viruses.
The Varroa parasite attaches itself to honeybees, spreads rapidly and weakens the brood. Hives attacked by the Varroa mite are more susceptible to disease and less able to cope with the poor weather that stops them feeding. Varroa infestations can be treated by beekeepers, but the mites are becoming increasingly resistant to all chemical treatments. The BBKA is asking the government for more research to protect honeybees from this threat.
We do need more research. We are much more aware than we ever have been of how important the bees are to us and to crops. And it's important that we look after them. The Varroa mite has already decimated any wild bees, feral bees that there are, so we rely ever more on beekeepers.
Bees provide pollination for a wide range of fruit and crops in the UK. If bee numbers were to decline too sharply, farming would suffer. The problem is then one of food security.
We're not really wanting to sit around and wait for the crisis to happen before we do anything. We've got evidence from America of what can happen. We've got problems here with losing hives. The bee population is definitely falling, and the honey supply will be reduced. Most beekeepers are expected to run out of honey by about Christmas this year. You know, I can't think of anything in the last few years that's threatened us like we're being threatened now.